The biggest mistake I made in my business was not hiring a professional to help me with my money. Not just my taxes, but the actual plan I had for my business. I was completely lost on how to handle taxes, what to do with profit, and how to maintain my income. I had to find a better way. That's when I found Core Financial. Core Financial is a team of tax professionals that actually care about building real relationships with their clients. They run my books, keep me up to date with my finances, and make sure I'm taking full advantage of all of my tax benefits. Are you struggling with your finances? Look no further. Core Financial is a brand that is nationwide that can help you with your business. Both Nick and I are huge fans of Core, and they can help you too. Check out howtofilmweddings.com/core to schedule a consultation today. Core Financial. Real relationships, no surprises.
It seems like there are new cameras and equipment coming out all of the time. It gets increasingly confusing and the FOMO is real. John and I have been preaching for years that the best way to try out new gear is to rent before you buy. There is only one place that we recommend when it comes to renting, and that is our friends over at Lens Rentals. Lens Rentals is the premier source for renting not only camera equipment, but lenses, drones, projectors, and more. Do you have a big project coming up and you really need to wow your couple? Wanting to test out the newest camera before you drop thousands on it? You need Lens Rentals. My favorite thing is that if I love something I rent, I can keep it. They apply a portion of the rental fee to the purchase price, and within a few simple clicks, the gear is mine. So head over to howtofilmweddings.com/lensrentals and use promo code HTFW15 at checkout for 15% off of your order. Lens Rentals, the only place we recommend renting. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is Nick Miller, and I am joined another solo episode with a solo duo. We don't have a guest. I'm joined by John.
Well, you really teed me up great there.
I did great. I did great.
Only John today. It's another waste of your time, listener. It's only John's. Just kidding, Nick. It's a good week though. We're excited.
It is a really good week. It's excited. As of recording this, I am in a couple of days heading to Denver, and then we will rent a car and drive up to Vail for a wedding in Vail this weekend. So as you listen to this in your ear holes, I will have just gotten back from Vail. So yeah, there we go. That's what your ear holes.
When you say ear holes, I feel like we're gonna have to hit the bleep button, but I don't. We don't. But I'm uncomfortable. Like, it makes me uncomfortable when you talk about our ear holes or any holes. Honestly, like maybe we could just make a no hole, just a kind of a blanket statement. We don't talk about holes. Okay. I'm just saying. No, I don't know where to go after that, and I don't know how we come back from that. Me neither. I mean, it started with you basically saying it's just John. I mean, that's fine. It's good. I'm happy to be here with you. I hope.
I'm here too.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
You were in Colorado. You're not there yet as we record this, but hopefully you had a great time in Colorado.
Hopefully
shooting.
I did.
I will have just shot this last weekend a rehearsal dinner and wedding day in Tulsa, and it's supposed to be like 100 degrees. You not so much. I think you're going to be up in like the
high
mountains.
I saw was like 84 or something like that. So
yeah, so I'm a little jealous of you, but it's my only wedding shooting in August. It's almost September. Kids are back in school. Like edits are going well. Like things are working really well. And I saw a couple of questions, and we've been getting these questions in the How to Film Weddings group for quite a while. But basically, like today's episode, we wanted to talk about how like we have done things to change things up to book a higher percentage of our weddings. Mm-hmm. And Nick and I were talking, and he was like, I've been doing these things and a few months back, and just was like, I had a designer help me with this, and we're going to talk about it. But like, I had 8 couples in a row say yes to me at my highest prices. Come on.
You're stealing my story. Like you stole my thunder, and so I didn't get to say that. You said it's okay. I said it was just you, so it's like it evened out. It evened out.
Okay, now we're good. We're back. The mojo is good. The phone is swayed. I don't know what that means, but here we are. We're back to neutral. But yeah, you said you booked I remember you telling me like 8 couples in a row have said yes since I did this thing, and since I've been doing these things, and I was like, okay, I got to jump on this. I started working on something to kind of be doing what you had been doing. Yeah. So we just wanted to talk about what you've done to get those, get that many people saying yes, because we say a lot of times like, you shouldn't be booking that many. You should raise your prices. So you keep raising your prices, but you've done a couple things, and I'll let you talk. But I just wanted to like tee you up. That's all I was trying to do.
Okay. Well, it was really good. Yes, John is correct in this, and I've actually shared a few screenshots. Whenever we had our website redesigned last year, we launched it last year, our designer actually put together a pricing guide PDF for us, and so. This is it's like a 10-page document, that has some pretty imagery, but also it has information about our business, who we are, and, then it goes into pricing, and FAQ and, that sort of stuff. And as soon as we launched our website, and then we did this pricing PDF. Like whenever I did that, I was sending it off, and I booked, it was 8 in a row. People said they wanted to work with me, and we weren't starting at, $2,000 for our packages. I mean, locally it was, I want to say $5,000 locally, and then travel was anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000, for us to go there. So it wasn't like we were, inexpensive for the services that we were offering. And so I was talking to John about this. I can't believe it. And, what's going on and how is this? And I think that a lot of it has to do with the presentation and how we set things up and how then we communicated with our clients. I know there are so many people out there that they get into this industry, they get into this business, and they're like, well, my artwork speaks for itself. I'm not a salesman, so if they book me, great. If they don't book me, and I think that a lot of people have that about them. There are very few people that start out in this industry and be like, I just want to sell. I just want to hop on the phone with people. I just want to do. And so the things that you wish you knew when you started that now, like you would have done stuff totally differently, like the look and feel, the vibe of your website, how you did your emails, your pricing, how you shared all of that information with them and all of that. And so I think it all really goes together because your presentation of your brand, of your business is more than just your film and more than just how you dress and how you are on a wedding day. It's way more than that. Did I go in the right direction there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
What I was going to add to that, if I may, is so whenever I saw the way that because I heard a lot of people just being like, I send out like just a full pricing list via Honeybook or Dubsado or Studio Ninja or whatever it is. Like I just send them my packages and after we talk and let them pick and choose. And I still haven't found just a PDF that looks awesome. Like that, I haven't seen somebody's just like blanket statement. Here's what I charge PDF to be an extension of their brand. And mine, I have like a really we've showed it a lot on our presentations and. Of the way that I had made something that showed more of me and showed more about my brand and my whys and having testimonials and shots of me with couples and it not just being like a black and white, very masculine, boring. Here's my prices. Here's whatever. It was like a small continuation, a version 2.0 of like what most people do for their pricing. And then Nick went out and just went like skipped version 3.0 and like moved to 4.0. And like had this complete pricing guide built exactly with the same fonts and the same vibe and the same branding as his new website based on he and Jen's brand. And it just made it so much easier for them to walk slowly through the process with their couples and make it really easy for them. And I think that relieved like friction in the sales process. There was a new flow, and it made it easy for people to flow straight into saying, well, yeah, we're ready, right, babe? Are you ready? Yeah, like, let's do this. And so that presentation of your brand post the conversation that you had with them, or even right before, changed. It wasn't just, because I think, didn't you used to just send Honeybook brochures? Wasn't that what you were doing?
Yeah, yes. That is what we were doing. And I think that in a service like Honeybook, and I don't know about the other CRMs, I know Honeybook because I have it. I think it is actually a really great tool, their brochures, how they have it set up, where you can design how you want to design it, and you can make it look. There are some limitations to it, obviously, because it's an internet-based thing, but the idea of, I can make this PDF or this pricing sheet, I can send it to my couples, and then they can pick and choose the thing that they want, and then you click a button, and then it sends them back, and then we get the contract and the payments and all that stuff, like really figured out, really streamlined, really nice. The problem with it, I'm very happy with Honeybook, but the problem with it is, does that pricing guide, does that brochure that is built into Honeybook fit the brand of your business? Mm-hmm. And I think that for a time, yes, it worked for us. But now, as we have progressed and we are, our starting price continues to go up, and we are working these higher end weddings, I don't know if that brochure that Honeybook creates works for how we want to present ourselves as a business. And so I was like, why, and talking to you, why do I need this, Jen? Like, why do we need to spend this extra $400, $500 or whatever it was for our designer to put this together? Why do we need to do that whenever we have Honeybook? And, she was like, well, I just want it, so we're going to do it. And I was like, okay, fine. But
that's a good point, Jen.
Yeah. But as I, got it back and I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Like the look of it, the feel of it, it's way more. And because our designer did it and she did our website, like everything flows together, everything fits together. And so it's very seamless. And I just send it over after or before I talk to couples and let them know. So it's really nice. It looks really clean. It looks really professional because it is. And so, yeah.
So, and we'll get to talking more about that here in just a little bit, but you'd mentioned it a second ago, Nick, and I really want to go back to it. You said presentation is more than your films and how you dress. I think that a lot of people think, if I have a hipster vibe, I'm going to dress hipster, I'm going to have some hipster films, and like I'm going to stand out from the rest of the crowd, or and there's a lot more that goes into it. I lean more towards like, I enjoy reading a good book on business, and I went to school for advertising and marketing, and like I love the creativity of shooting weddings and presenting myself at a wedding. But like if you're out there listening and you do struggle with the business side of things a little bit, or you're a little less or you're a little more creative minded as opposed to like business minded, these little things will really make it to where you can do your art well. They make it where you can focus on the things. And one of the things I really think about is just how you communicate and how you respond. We will talk a little bit more about the pricing guides and what you did and break those down. But I want to talk about like the process of communicating and responding. And we've talked about branding a lot. If you were part of Calibrate Workshop, there was a lot of branding there. There's a lot of branding in our Complete Wedding video course, but we talk about brand all the time. And the more that you can lean into your brand and know who you are, the quicker you can get to your ideal clients, your ideal, couples. And if you know who you are, if you know what you stand for, if you know your why, it's easier to communicate and respond in a way that feels more like you. And so how you communicate and respond to couples, like an inquiry comes in, like how you've communicated the words on your website, how you've communicated the first message you send them, or your template emails, or whatever it is, and how you respond. Like if you take the time to figure your brand out and be creative in the business side of what you do, you will see a lot more bang for your buck when it comes to finding the right people.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those things where you're like, well, why does it matter like with a pricing sheet, like why do I need more than just bullet points and a number next to it? Why do we need more? And again, people want to buy from people. Okay. People want to connect with people. So whenever you infuse yourself, whenever you infuse your brand into some of these pricing sheets, then it helps you stand out. I think the statistic is that if someone reaches out to you, statistically, they've reached out to 3 other businesses, and in some cases, it's even more. But I think it was Max or Sam that said something along those lines, that there are at least 3 other people, or you are one of 3 for sure statistically that they have reached out to. And so how are you standing out? How are you differentiating yourself? And people notice something when everything flows together, when everything fits together, and the brand is cohesive, the communication is cohesive. One thing that I love, La Rev Films, whenever they spoke at Calibrate, they said, we actually have a list of so many brand words that we use. Here's like 20 words that we say, and here are 10 words that we will not say. Okay. And he said, we make sure that as we are writing our emails, as we are responding to people, that we include these words and not these words. Okay. If you are trying to reach a higher end clientele, how you phrase stuff, how you ask questions, the words that you do matter and hold a lot more weight. So as you're communicating, you need to figure out along your journey about how does this all fit, right? We have done hundreds of mentor sessions. I don't know. We've done a lot of mentor sessions. And whenever it comes to pricing sheets, we are seeing kind of the same themes over and over and over again. And John and I are like telling the same people. It's like we're a broken record. It's like whenever we see a pricing sheet, we could almost just hit play on something that we've said many, many times to other people, because we are seeing the same thing over and over and over again. So what we are going to do is, after the break, we are going to talk about some of those things and maybe some things that we have done that you can do to implement to change your pricing structure.
Hi, it's Michael from Wedditer. We want to thank everyone for the incredible support we've received since sponsoring How to Film Weddings. Yes, we've had some growing pains, but we've had far more wins. And we're doing something that's never been done. We're a remote team of over 50 editors in 10 countries. I often joke that we're as much a logistics company as we are a creative company. Right now, demand is off the charts. And we don't just say yes to everyone and scramble to figure it out. That's why we're asking you to help us help more of you. In short, we're looking for more talented Wedditors, part-time or full-time, work from where you want, when you want, as long as you hit deadlines and deliver quality. It's a chance to get paid while growing as an editor. Our project managers work with you, explaining why something feels right or doesn't, because there's always a reason. If you're interested, we'd love to hear from you. Go to wedditer.com/editor and fill out our form.
All right, and we are back from break, and we're going to go ahead and jump into our Wedditer question of the day. Wedditer, more than freelance, more than outsourcing. And John, the question that I have for you, presented by Wedditer, is this. Okay,
who's it by? Wedditer, more than freelance, more than outsourcing. We're sponsored.
is this. Wedditer. What are some of the things that we have seen, that you have seen over and over again, that you would tell people to reconsider, to think about when it comes to their pricing sheets, all of that stuff?
How much time do you have? No.
I got about 7 minutes.
Oh, geez. Okay, then I'll stick to the thing that I feel like stands out the most, and that is their pricing sheets, the pricing guides that I see are so overwhelming with information that is unnecessary. That's a big one. Just like packages that have so many words that are so uncomfortable to take so much time, and people are not remembering that the couples that are out there today, most of them are skimming through things first to see if they like it, and then they're going back and reading it, then they're going back and going for more details. And so instead of just here's this one pricing sheet. You can tell a story with your pricing guide. You can have your brand logo on the front page with a nice image of a couple. The second page can be about you, the filmmaker. The third can be like the table of contents, or like you can like walk them through. And then whenever you do have your packages, instead of saying we shoot with 4 cameras that are Sony A7S3s at 4K 60 during the day and at 24p here, and we have this drone that shoots this rate, and it's just, or, all this stuff about travel information, 12 cents a mile outside of the greater Grand Rapids area, and do them. It's just like confusing as all get out for people. And so what most people don't think about is like, this is where you have to make, like, if you can make this part of the transaction more sexy or more attractive, like, you're going to see way better results. And that's whenever I saw, Nick, when I saw your pricing guide, like, it's not a pricing sheet. It is a guide. It is guiding them straight to the kill, straight towards the purchase. Like, it's so easy to be like, I like Nick and Jen, or I don't like this. I don't want this. And they can make an easy decision. And that's why you saw it so quickly when somebody saw your video on Instagram. If you think about the buyer's journey, maybe they saw a video of yours on YouTube or Instagram. They click over, they see your mood and your vibe and the way that your profile looks on Instagram and just your color scheme, and they like it. So they click the link and it takes them to your website, which also matches and looks really great and speaks to who they are. They get to know who you are. They're excited to talk to you. They reach out to you. All of your words feel the same as they did on the site, as they did on Instagram. And you're quick to respond. You get in touch with them. You have a great call with them. You're connected with them. You send them a pricing guide, and it's a big pile of crap. No, that's not what you want. You want to then extend that same feel of exactly, this is how it works. This is how you book. This is the next step. This is our phone number. This is how the packages work. This all flows together. And when you did that, and when you found that missing piece, that is when you made it really easy for the little bride and groom to walk right across the bridge into the bank account and say, here's $2,000. I would like you to go ahead and reserve my day. And that creates so much momentum in your business and so much scarcity, and you can raise your prices. And I could go on forever and ever. Am I preaching good? If I am, yell it in your car, yell it at the gym, make somebody weird look at you like you're weird. But anyway, I could go on and on about that because it's so obvious to me, but so many people it flies right over their head. They're not thinking about how important it is to connect them with the experience during the pricing guide portion.
Yeah. I think that the biggest thing that John and I see over and over again whenever we're talking to these people is it's way too complex, way too complicated. There's way too much information on the sheet that just doesn't need to be there. You put something, and if it's not like, and if it's not like pertinent information that they absolutely have to know, don't include it. And if they have a question, they will bring it up. Okay. Like if they need to know something, then they will let you know, hey, I don't understand this. What is this? Can you tell me about it? But, especially whenever you get in and you have a pricing page that is just bombarding with text, like people just, their eyes gloss over and they're like, I don't know where to look. I don't know what to see. I just want to know the price. Like I don't know what to do with this. Make it simple and straightforward for them so that they can see what the services that you have listed, what they are, and then move on from it. Bullet points thing. You don't need to explain. Like we have like some doc edits. We just put in there keepsake edits, but we don't explain it in like our big huge pricing sheet. And we have questions. I just let them know because I found that it would be like overwhelming to try to get them to understand what a doc edit is and all the raw footage and all that kind of stuff. But it's easier for me to spend 2 sentences talking about it when I'm on the phone with them. Another thing that I think has been really, really helpful for us is we put a frequently asked questions section in our pricing guide. Okay. And so just think of those 5 or 6 questions that you are getting over and over and over again, and just stick them in there. So maybe, they talk about it when you're on the phone with them. Maybe they don't talk about it, whatever. But now they have kind of a baseline of some of those things so that they are not overwhelmed by so many questions. It's like, oh, here are 6 things that we always like. We have a section in there on music. Do I get to select my own music? And we say, no, you don't. Kind of give them a little explanation why. If you'd like more information, reach out to us and we'll let you know. So just things that commonly come up, I think, have really helped. As I'm on the phone with people and I'm talking to them about it, they were like, thank you so much for this guide. I usually send it to them about 5 minutes before we hop on the phone call, so they're able to kind of browse over it real quick, but not like make a decision, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of how we go about it. And there are so many people I was like, do you have any questions about our services? And they're like, I was looking through your PDF and with this phone call, it's like you answered everything and it's right here and it's so straightforward. Another thing that we include is a next steps, like frequently asked questions. Next, what do you want to do? You want to book with us? Yay. Send us an email, and it's hyperlinked so they can click on it and, so they can send me an email right away. Okay. So, just some things that we're including in it that I think have broken down walls that people might have as I'm in the selling process with them.
Yeah. And what you're saying, and I think that I saw this from afar with you, with your whole rebrand, with your whole website, with knowing, you and Jen, like the brand that you represent, who you're serving, why you're serving them. With this new pricing guide that you had, with this new brand, it seemed as though you just became so much more confident in your brand. And confidence is huge in our business. If you're not confident, wedding filmmakers are the least confident people ever. We talk about this before, but it's like, my price is $3,000, and the bride says, and you're like, I could do it for $2,000, or I could do it. We're just not confident. And Nick, you might talk about what changed after you did have your new website, your new pricing guide. Was there a confidence shift? What types of things did you feel shifting in your brand, maybe with you and Jen, when it comes to how confident you are and what that maybe did when it came to raising prices, booking more couples, things like that?
I think whenever we got our website redesigned and, we got this PDF and stuff, I finally felt like what I was asking people to pay fit with how I was presenting myself. Mm-hmm. So I think that, John is an example, and he's talked about this, how his website is he's like, I haven't updated it since 2010, or, it's been a long time since you, right? It's been a while. You're going through a rebrand. I'm not trying to,
I'm laughing at myself because I want to say, I was just going to, I put on our notes, John has I'm just giggling. Okay. My site is not great. You right. Keep going.
Yes, but he is going through a rebrand, a redesign right now. He has sent me that website, which looks incredible. And there might be people that are like, man, John, he's starting at $7,075. It just, and his website, the two don't make sense, but yet he's still doing it. But then you add that thing, that brand, that website, all of this stuff, you go through that. And guys, next year, whenever John's like, I start at $10,000 and I don't do anything, and you'll go to his website, you'll be like, oh, okay. It all makes sense. And so I really felt whenever we did that and we're like, okay, locally, we're starting at $5,000. Locally, we're starting at $5,500, which is way above my area for starting price. I'm like, that's just what it, and I felt confident about that because everything was kind of flowing together and fitting together, and I knew who we were as a business and as a brand.
Yeah, and confidence plays such a huge role in my success. I think that more so than a fake it till you make it. I'm very confident in the final product that our couples get. Our films are $10,000 films, and people keep paying it, so I know that that's accurate. As you were saying, though, it's I was under this impression for a while, and I'm the guy that loves to be vulnerable and say, this is where I could get better. I was like, I'm booking all the weddings I need. I don't need to worry about this. Mm-hmm. And so I would be like, if I ever get slower on bookings, I will focus more on my website's fine. It's not great. It's the template that I installed from WordPress in 2010, and I've updated certain things about it. I haven't had a new logo in forever. Like, I've updated the copy, the films are updated, and so it's enough. But I just know that as soon as this new brand is uploaded and I put it out in the world, I'm going to see a much bigger return on the investment. But the confidence side of things, like looking at where my website is right now and where my pricing, even just my logo, it's harder for me. There is a hurdle I have to get over in feeling confident to say, like Nick will have a wedding and he's booked and he's like, hey, are you available for this killer wedding in Italy? And I'm like, yeah, but don't send them to my site. Just send them this YouTube video or or whatever it is. And it's like, I wish they wouldn't have to go to my site. I'm not confident. And that's the same thing I think about, like, as I've been walking through this rebranding process and learning who I am and like teaching you along the way as I grow. You can still charge a lot of money. I feel like when it comes to business, I am just like the sales process is so much fun and so creative for me that like that's my secret sauce right now. And I've been booking these bigger weddings in spite of the hurdles of my website not being a great experience, or the experience of my pricing guide not being like as good as it could be. It's just kind of been hodgepodge together. And I think a lot of us do that. And there's nothing crazy wrong with that. But at the same time, it's like, if I'm not willing to invest into me, into my brand, when am I going to really get over that hump of where I want to go? And so, yeah, I'm about to change my prices to starting out somewhere around that $10,000 range, a huge jump. When I release John Bunn Films, I'm working with copywriters right now. It's almost done. I'm working on videos about me stuff. And like, I know the confidence level by having a pricing guide like this, by having the updated website, are going to allow me to book more and more weddings, but the right weddings. And I can't tell you how much something like this will instill confidence in you, and it instills confidence in your couples. And so there's a lot more we want to talk about. I hope this is being helpful. We're going to talk all about something brand new right after this break. Finding the perfect song for your wedding film can be so frustrating. We spend countless hours searching for the perfect song. When it comes to licensing music, Nick and I both love Musicbed. Not only do they have the best music, but their website makes it so easy to find the perfect song and to find it fast. We have both been using the Musicbed's wedding subscription for years and cannot recommend it enough. Not only are they adding new music from incredible musicians like Chapters, The Light, The Heat, and Tony Anderson all the time, they've made it incredibly easy to search their library for mood, genre, instrumentation, and even key. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed and use promo code HTFW for a free month of a Musicbed wedding subscription. howtofilmweddings.com/musicbed. And we are back from break, and I'm really excited to talk about the things we're going to talk about in this next segment. But I was really wanting to kind of finish the conversation, Nick, with you regarding, like, I know you did the new website. I know you did the branding package. I know you've done a lot of things, invested a lot into your business. Why don't you break down just kind of, what you ended up spending on what and like all that kind of stuff. Like, how much does it cost to really... if I'm listening out there and it's like, okay, like, well, if I want to update my, my pricing, if I want to update this, like what kind of range did you spend? Mm-hmm. What can you recommend?
Yeah. So I think initially, for a website, redesign and stuff, and we already had a logo that we were happy with. It just needed tweaked a little bit, but so we got a little discount, but I want to say like initially for the branding website stuff, it was like $5,500 or so for that, which is a chunk. And then we also spent about $500 on a pricing guide. And then, we got some other stuff. I mean, we were probably all in at least $65,000, if not $7,000 for website redesign, website upkeep, rebrand, all of that kind of stuff. So it was expensive to do that. But again, that's an expense that I think can elevate your business, can really elevate your brand. After doing that, we've booked several right at 5-figure weddings, Our highest one ever was 12.5, I want to say. I've been, it's not official yet, but I've been told, hey, we're going with you for almost a $15,000 package, just recently and all that kind of stuff. So it's the return on investment has been incredible, but it took a lot for us to get there to begin with. So what about you and yours?
Well, yeah, and the same thing with me. Like, we were in a position where it's like we had, an account set up that we'd been saving for something like this. But yeah, we put all in so far. Like, we've redone, the new website. I didn't have a logo done yet, so I had to rebrand, remarks, new logos, new everything, brand book, pricing guides, brand new copy with like Sam Jacobson's team. Like, it's been incredible. But like, I'm heavily investing into this because I know the confidence that I need in my brand to be charging over 10,000. Just like, that's where I'm heading, and that's where I want to go. And I'm looking to other filmmakers that are charging 10,000 and above. Good friends with Lindsay and Cherish at La Rev, and it's like talking with them. It's like they've spent a chunk of money on this kind of stuff, and it's expensive. But I think I'm right around 10 grand that I've put into this over the last year to get to a point now where I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I have everything that I need lined up to be fully confident to showcase myself as one of the premier wedding filmmakers on the planet. Like, that's the way that I am looking at my brand. We talk about your mindset all the time, and so that's where I'm at. I'm looking and saying, well, how are Lindsay and Cherish charging what they're charging? How is Henry Martin's charging what he's charging? And you look up and say, who's doing where I'm going, and everyone's investing into their brand and investing in, like, their films are ridiculously good. You have to have the work to back it up. But we know that if you're listening out there, you want to grow and elevate your brand. And we know some of you are newer and some of you are in your first few years. And so whenever Nick did this upgrade to his pricing guide, changed it from a pricing sheet to a guide, I was like, I got to do this. I have to do this. And then I was like, How to Film Weddings needs something like this that we can build and offer for the listeners. So not everybody, Nick, has $10,000 to invest into their brand, or $5,000, but we have worked with our designer, Raven, who did our website, our pricing guide, Nick's pricing guide, Nick's website, and we are really excited to officially launch our very own How to Film Weddings pricing guides. We have 3 of them, and I'm going to let Nick talk about what they are, how we designed them, that sort of a thing. But they are officially in the store at howtofilmweddings.com right now for you to check out.
Yep, that's howtofilmweddings.com/store, and we have 3 different pricing guide templates that you can look at and purchase. So one of them is a luxury one. As we were talking to Raven about this, we wanted something that screams and feels very high end. We wanted something that felt with in a luxury brand. Okay, so that's that one. The next one that we put together was something that we consider more of an adventure kind of feel. So if you're more of an elopement, more of a destination, kind of adventure-y type of filmmaker, the adventure guide is going to be great for you. And the other one is we've called it Modern Bliss, is what Raven named it, but a modern one, which is, okay, you're like, well, I'm not really a luxury filmmaker, and I'm not really an adventure one. I'm somewhere, maybe those two kind of mash together or something like that. So we have a third option called the modern one, Modern Bliss. And so what's really cool about these is you go to the website, you purchase them, you download them, you have everything that you need in there. You have all of the fonts, you have all of the images, which Raven actually goes in and says there are a couple of websites that if you need some stock photos for your guides, you can go to these websites and download them totally free, totally legit, all of that stuff. She also has included a text tutorial, but I went ahead and went through, because it's in Adobe InDesign is what this is made in. I went ahead and did a little video tutorial to kind of show you guys how to do that in case you don't know InDesign. So that is something that you do need to know. This is an Adobe InDesign file. And to open it and edit it, you need Adobe InDesign. If you don't have the Adobe Suite and you don't have InDesign, you can always do a free trial and pick it up. You have like 2 weeks or a month or something of it. So you can get it, play with it, download it, make your PDF however you want it, your guide how you want it. And then you just cancel your membership and you are good to go with that way. So, but all of that stuff, that's what's included. Fonts, there's free fonts. That are included in that as well. And so it all looks, but the nice thing is you're like, well, I use XYZ font, not ABC font. So you can actually go in and change all of the fonts. There's a couple things you can do really quick so that it automatically updates it so that you don't have to go in and retype or go in and change absolutely everything. So it's really, really cool. I think that this is going to be something that could really help you in your business, in your brand, would be to go ahead and get this pricing guide. John.
And just to kind of go a little deeper in what it is, like when you purchase the guide, you will get a file that is editable, that has photos in places and cropped and masked in certain ways that make it look so clean, so much better. Like, this is a professional designer that has gone through and spent months putting these together for us with this in mind. We said we wanted it to be easy for somebody that is not able yet to invest $4,000 or $5,000 into their brand, even $500 or $600 into a guide like we had done that's completely custom. But it's like you can click a button and change the color to match your color inside of the sheet. You can change the colors. You can change, it's an image of a filmmaker. Obviously, you can put an image of you there. You can, fix it. And she has prompts and things within the paragraphs that says, this is where you will put, this is where you'll put information about you. It's not just the, the fake whatever language, lorem ipsum or whatever that's called. It's everything just lined up very easily for you. So you can go to the website, howtofilmweddings.com/store, and you can like click through and see images and like walk through and kind of see what the final product will look like. So it just makes it really easy for you. And Nick, I'll let you kind of talk about do we want to talk about the pricing? Do you want to tell them about the
kind of, and just we're doing? Before we jump into, the pricing and all that kind of stuff with this, I want to break down kind of what's included and how it's laid out, just so you know, because it really is a guide. It's like 10 to 14 pages depending on which one you pick up. And so we have, just kind of a cover page, a table of contents, that sort of stuff. And then we go in and she's designed it so you can list stuff about your business. So you can list stuff about you. We have multiple pages about the actual pricing. There's the FAQ page, there's a what to do next. So it's kind of this journey as you're kind of going through it, of a step-by-step process. Okay, first, this is what's in it. First, I am learning about the business. Then I am learning about who my filmmaker is. Then I am seeing the pricing. Do I have any questions? Here they are. I want to book you. What do I do now? And so it's a guide that walks their clients through the process. So as John and I talked about this and we kind of looked around, we landed on the price of $199 is what we are going to list each of these guides for. So $199, but for this week, is it just this week? Is that what we're doing? Just this week? Yeah, this week, as we launch this, we are going to make them $99. So if you use promo code LAUNCH, not lunch, but launch, like launch week, hooray. If you use promo code LAUNCH, you will get $100 off of each of these guides. So we do have it set up where there are 3 separate ones. And so, we don't have right now a bundle for all of them, or, you don't get, one and you get all of them, that kind of thing. There are 3 different ones because they serve different purposes to different clientele. And, if you're really looking at that luxury one and that's your business, like the adventure one doesn't really make sense. So that is how we are listing those. $199 this week only. You get $100 off, so you can get it for $99. Use promo code LAUNCH at howtofilmweddings.com/store.
And Nick made that code up right on the spot. I love it. I saw him typing it in. Like, I got to remember to do that, which is great. But yes, $100 off. And I'll just say this. If you've purchased any of the digital templates from our shop, you know the amount of effort that we put into them. Like our consultation guide, we've literally sold hundreds and hundreds of those. and $50 for that. It's just like we want to give the listeners a product that is next level, that should cost way more, but at an affordable price. Not a cheap price, but like an affordable rate. I mean, you can go on to other people, photographers, things like that, and they're charging $200-$300 for pricing guides, things like that. Never have we seen something so unique for wedding filmmakers, and so we want to offer it to you if you jump on it this week for $99. And even if you're listening to this later and it's $199, it's a steal. It is exactly the kinds of things that we're using to pull in these high budget brides and to help with that journey and to be able to really have that presentation go all the way through until the sale. So I hope this episode has been helpful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/store. Check out the pricing guides. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, we will see you. Are you looking for a better way to deliver your wedding films to your couples? Look no further. Our friends over at WedFlow provide the most flexible video delivery solution on the market. WedFlow is pay per project with no large upfront cost or commitment, and you can cancel anytime. Not only that, WedFlow offers a premium viewing experience for your couples, accessible on mobile, tablet, desktop, as well as their very own suite of TV apps. Each project comes with 10 years hosting and an experience for your clients that will blow them away. Stop delivering your films the old-fashioned way and give your couples something to rave about. Head on over to howtofilmweddings.com/WedFlow to check out WedFlow today.